The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Now, the author of The Path of Least Resistance and the Tech Insider, David White.
Good afternoon, traders. We got some action finally out here in the marketplace, although I'm actually thinking that we close a little bit higher here and we might have a fairly bullish signal. I'm actually thinking we're probably going to do fairly well over the next couple of weeks. We pretty much into options expiration range and through the 18th with the Facebook IPO. I'm expecting they throw pretty much everything at this market over the next few days to get it up and euphoric and be able to accept one of the biggest IPOs in a long time, with the street looking at upwards of $2 billion. Of course, Goldman Sachs, Merrill, both huge investors in Facebook. They're going to want these things to go out fairly well, probably going to do some decent support. Didn't get a chance to dig through the latest work that they sent the SEC, but in previous ones there were some mentions of the underwriters not having a lockup period. I don't know what the status of that is now. I probably won't get a chance to look at the Facebook stuff until this weekend. If the latest version has been released, I'm not sure it has. I think they'll probably present that on Monday as they start the roadshow. But it's going to be fairly interesting. But we'll have to see how all that shakes out. It is Friday, May 4th. It is a gorgeous day. It's actually starting to get a little bit warm down here in Tampa. It's a dry heat, like they like to say out there in Arizona, when it's 150 degrees. But today is International Firefighters Day, and we dedicate this day to those that run into the burning buildings while we are skedaddling out the front door, or back door, depending on which one it was. When normally these guys only show up on the worst days of our lives, if they come to your house while it's burning, or your business. And, of course, every day they put on their equipment and run into the burning building. I guess most of them hopefully, are adrenaline junkies and not scaredy cats. Probably be the wrong business to get into if you were afraid of a lot of things. I would imagine that most of them do pretty good. I'm looking for a close about 1374, 1375 on the S&P, which I would be kind of bullish on here. We're off 20 points, 61 points on the NASDAQ, 158 points on the Dow. Volume's okay, but not all that extensive. I see a lot of people are probably fairly excited about this move because they've already been able to crash Yahoo Finance, I've heard. So we'll have to see how all this works out. But going to be a very interesting day. On Fridays, as usual, in the second hour of the Tom O'Brien Show, we talk about technology. Tonight, we're going to have kind of a bigger, broader brush than individual stock that we talk about. We're going to be talking about IPOs, of course, Facebook coming out, a lot of others, but we're going to talk about all the issues surrounding it. I've had several people call me about whether they should try to get in on Facebook shares and call the broker to actually get them. Actually, he was wondering how he got them, and I said, well, you call your broker, and generally that's pretty much it. You call your broker, and this gentleman was going to, if he would move $200,000 into the account, they would let him buy 200 shares. I forget who it was, Ameritrade or somebody. But, normally you like to see these things float out. And I also told him the same thing, that I looked at the previous versions of the documents for the IPO from Facebook, but I hadn't seen the revised one since they bought the Instagram. And, a lot of times they'll make a lot of little changes like that and hope people don't catch them at the very end, especially underwriters. They'd probably love to have these come out. Some of the people that are going to be lucky, like I said, Merrill Lynch and Goldman Sachs, both early investors. There's a company called, or I think it's called Second second market. And you can actually trade some of the shares in those companies before they become public. And there's a lot of restrictions. Second market probably going to be in some turmoil because I think either 50% or 70%, some massive percentage of all of their business was trading Facebook shares. So they don't have that anymore. Maybe they'll come on more. I suspect that they will become the market for trading shares in these soon-to-be IPOs, still private companies, but private companies in the, pretty much in the initial phase that are covered by the Jobs Act, and we'll see how those actually move out. But that's it. But anyway, kudos to the international firefighters. I always like Rescue Me, even though I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do actually with anybody ever that was in a firehouse. It was still a great show. Too bad I guess it ran till the 10th anniversary of 9/11. They've taken off all the great shows that I like. Entourage is gone. We'll have to see. House is over in 3 more episodes. Maybe there'll be something new come along. I doubt it. Almost everything that seems like it's new is in TV seems kind of like the Kardashians or some other horrible TV show like that. We've got a lot of charts today. We'll probably just go through those. If you do have some questions, or maybe some questions you think we should answer tonight, you should give me a call at 877-927-6648, 827-66, 927-6648, yeah. So give us a ring, and we'll be glad to answer your question today. Still dancing around that 1371, which kind of hung around there for a while today, but we'll have to see. Dollar index is just up 27 cents, not too bad. Gold's been kind of bouncing around, actually was up, was down. When the jobs numbers came out this morning, 1644.30, still stuck in this little tiny trading range. Certainly gold is building steam to make a bigger move up or down. We have the French elections on Saturday. I think they're Saturday. Last look, there was it looked like 6 points to the full tilt socialist communist. I figure his name's like Hardy or Harday or something. Anyway, looks like if you believe the French newspapers, he's going to win. Something also politically that I found kind of interesting was Senator Lugar from Indiana is 10 points down in his primary run. So I think we've got some of these elections. I think the incumbents are going to be having a lot of problems. You got Greek elections. I think a lot of people are talking about them being important. I don't think so much. I think everybody's pretty much written Greece off. And actually, Spain was actually up and fairly strong today. So it's kind of hard to tell from minute to minute. It's almost like watching a House episode. Every time you think the patient's cured, he comes back and starts coughing up blood. It's kind of like the way I think of Spain there. It's a patient on House. No matter what you do, he's fixed for the next couple of minutes, and then suddenly he's got some other giant disease. But we'll have to see. What we have in the natural gas is off about 5 cents. I know everybody's been looking at that. I suspect that we've probably hit a little bit of high in the natural gas for a little bit. Actually, I'm still hoping the thing gets back down to 150, and maybe that's the only thing I have is a hope that it gets back down there. But normally, May, June, fairly quiet months for natural gas, especially with the move down in actual gasoline and the crude market today, where we saw it's printing $98.60, $3.90 off $3.93. So we still have a lot of movement there. We've got a lot of Gartley patterns that look like they started to pretty much pay off. And these are in my newsletter each morning. I go through and scan 5,000 stocks each day and find the best ones and put them in my newsletter. I think I had about 30 good charts in the newsletter this morning. So we'll have to go through these today. We have a bunch. what do we have? Williams-Sonoma. WSM is the symbol for that. And hopefully Al in the control room has got this chart up. But it looks like maybe Al. Anyway, hopefully it's up, and we're looking at Williams-Sonoma. But we'll see. Maybe somebody can tell me in the den if Williams-Sonoma's up on the Tiger TV. But WSM is the symbol. This one really kind of paid off if you are watching on Tiger TV. We had a nice start to the X point. It was on March 21st, and $39.54. Almost 5 million shares on that day. Came down, made a fairly low volume low on April 10th, $35.66. Your B point came in on April 20th, $38.61. C point on $36.97 on April 24th. I went into a bearish butterfly Gartley. I guess a butterfly is a form of Gartley. We keep fighting about that internally here at TFNN. Is it just a butterfly or is it just a Gartley? Anyway, it was a bearish butterfly. The target came in at $40.60 for this. It did make it $40.75. Pretty good one if you could pick it off here. It's not the biggest butterfly in the world, but these work on shorter and longer time frames both. We're going to go through many of these right now. What else do we have here? Watching here. The Phoenix Company. Let me see if we can get just a little longer one on this. And this one had made a nice kind of pattern and actually turned around on the opposite side. We were watching this one today and looking for the projection. We were looking for $1.64. It hit $1.65 today. So fairly interesting, if that's correct, May 4th. And this was in the newsletter this morning. Maybe even a nice little intraday turnaround on this. The Phoenix Companies, PNX, that's a little dollar stock out here. But we'll continue to watch it. But another nice little bullish Gartley pattern out here. So it didn't do the full extension, but just a 781. The November 25th low started off the X point at $1. What is that? 35 cents. Went up to the February 3rd high at $2.69. Volume, respectable million shares up there at the top. And came back, made your B point on March 6th, $1.93. Your C point on March 27th, $2.50. Went down and hit it within a penny there. So if you want a good setup on how some of these set up, take a look at the Phoenix Companies, PNX. We'll be right back.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's just wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of the money game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital, versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Anyway, we get back. I was going to talk a little bit about the Phoenix Company. They're an insurer, so kind of interesting that on a day like this that they did kind of complete their little Gartley, standard Gartley 222 pattern out here. Another one that looked like it was hitting a high is Mohawk Companies. Let me see if I can't, maybe it's a longer one. Try to find out here. Maybe it blew up and out today. Let's see what else we have here. Did I click anything interesting? Thinking that we had some of these here that may just be on the wrong time frame, or maybe they've moved out of the way of what we were looking for. Yeah, there we go. Gulfport Energy is the next one I want to look at. GPOR. This one is done kind of a Gartley pattern, and its target was $24.48. We got down to $23.75, so it succeeded a bullish butterfly. So a lot of these are kind of coming in like this. I found especially in the energy market, they had a little bounce off of almost the target price, actually getting back down into that today. what was the target? About a buck underneath the target price. It's going to be right in there and it, of course, is going to a gap that had already been there. Gulfport Energy, you have to kind of look at this. Not a lot of volume as it came down here the last few days, even into the movement. No real giant sign of weakness, but kind of looks more like a washout. I'm looking at the December 15th to start the X point in this particular Gartley. We've got we go up to the A point on February 21st at $37.63. We then get the March 6th low for the B point, $30.73, up to $33.49 on March 9th. And down, I guess you can say April 23rd was the last move. Had a little bounce out of this. It's not uncommon to see these things come back down one more time, come into those movements, especially when you want just a little bit more wiggle room. But that one was actually also looking at a fairly decent volume. What was that gap there, which is what, on about 100,000 shares. So probably coming into it with about the exact same volume we have on that. Let's see what else we have here. 1 year, 2 years. Let's see whether or not we've got. I think a lot of these may have moved out of their window here with the movement today. Maybe else I've got something else going on. Let's go to Cree, because I know this has got one here. Cree had been setting up, or trying to set up, a little Gartley pattern. A lot of these, when they actually get to those patterns, you can see that they were going to fail by themselves. One of the things that couldn't do is even get to the volume that we were looking at for March 19th. That was $32.75. So we had kind of a Gartley, try to set up a bearish butterfly. Really, what it ended up doing is getting to a little bit over the previous high, but closing back under it that same day. So this is the butterfly that was not to be. You had a standard sell signal with 25% lighter volume come in yesterday, and then a reversal on that today. You know, when you look at the actual B point on this, it was still 3.3 billion. So you had just a hair over the volume yesterday, but it did close back below it. Cree, of course, is one of the big and favorite stocks in the den. A lot of people like to trade those LED stocks. Panel's the other one on that one. Let's see what else we have here. CF Industries actually did a fairly nice Gartley pattern here. This one actually paid off fairly good. We've been showing this in the newsletter the last few days. Let me go back out here to the profile. But CF had a nice Gartley pattern. Its D point came in at, or target D point was 202.86. This actually came in to 203.32, so very close to the D target on a pretty nice bearish butterfly. We'll get back and talk more about CF Industries. They distribute nitrogen and phosphate fertilizers, serve the agricultural and industrial customers worldwide, operates in two segments, nitrogen and phosphates. Kind of a big move out here today on that. So we'll look at CF a little bit more. 877-927-6648.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've always thought about trying out his newsletter, Market Insights. Well, now is the perfect time. For a limited time only, when you sign up for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights, we'll send you a free copy of Tom O'Brien's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System. If you decide to cancel within the 2-week trial period, pay absolutely nothing and keep Tom's book as a free gift from us. Tom sends out his daily newsletter each morning by 9:30 a.m. with trade recommendations, including price targets and price stops. As recently as March 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out a position for more than a 25% profit in just over 2 weeks. To get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights, along with your free copy of The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Supplies are limited for this one-of-a-kind special, so act today and don't let this opportunity pass you by. Offer only valid for new subscribers.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
This segment is brought to you by Direction Shares. To learn more about tactical tools for the sophisticated active investor, hit the Direction Shares banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we come back, I'm going to finish this off, but a pretty good pattern as we're learning more and more about Gartley's at TFNN. We've got a lot of people. Of course, Tom wrote the book on it. So these are a lot of good Gartley patterns to watch and see how they play out and, look and see how we incorporate volume in a lot of these. I've got one little thing to do here for housekeeping. And we will be back to looking at CF Industries. Actually, I've got... and there we go. But CF Industries, basically had that pattern set up. We are having volume come back in. It looks like it's setting up a pattern and maybe go test that last high volume low out here, 168.35 on March 6th. That remains untested. We'll go through the XABCD on this, but pretty one and made a very close pattern out here. You can see how the volume did come off if you look at the power law vector indicator numbers on my charts. Again, these a lot of these charts are in my newsletter each morning, so you can get them. I think you probably would have gotten them about 30 minutes before the open this morning, and you could start looking at these charts if you are trading intraday. But to start off, the X point on this one came in at 195 and 2.5 million shares on February 28th. Came down to the March 6th low at 168.35. We have the B point set up on 191.36 on March 27th. 1.4 million shares, so not much in that. Came back March 29th, 175.18, and then we rode all the way up to the D point on the bearish butterfly, and that came in. The volume wasn't all that bad, but certainly looked extended and retreated yesterday. Not probably a good sign if you thought this thing had been topping out. We did have volume come back in. It has filled that gap of the 24th, so not a big deal out there. The volume on that gap up didn't come on a lot of volume. It is filling with a lot more, and you've got two gaps further on down on CF Holdings. Another one that looked and has looked rather interesting. Let me see if I can find it here. 1 year, maybe it's 2 years. Was Brookfield Office Supply. It's got kind of a longer one showing up. And these are one of these super extended Gartley patterns where you could almost have ABCs in between the C and D points as these things set up. Another one that's come awful close to its long projection. Just a couple of days ago, let's take a look at that. Actually hit the high yesterday at $18.60. Quite didn't make it to its D target for its butterfly, but it's kind of been working on what would you say, vapor for a while, last 8-10 trading days. But a very long-term Gartley coming in August 17th. $71, and that's at 2011, of course. $17.61, 2.2 million shares. Came down and started its A point on October 4th, $12.80. Into the B point on October 27th, $16.82, back to its $14.04 low on November 25th. This thing just kind of meandered all the way up. But probably a pretty good indication that this is the end of the road on Brookfield Office Supplies, or Office Properties, excuse me. And it's probably going to come back, I don't know, looks like it may be in the mid-16s back here. And Phil, well, the volume's really not all that exciting so far today. In fact, a lot of the stocks I've been looking at, a lot of them have found fairly interesting lows. Let's see what we have here. Active Power, another one that, I've made a lot of money in the past, so I really liked it. ACPW is the symbol on it. It's a penny stock. It has a nice little Gartley pattern out here. Of course, we're not going to be able to sell it, so probably not as interesting as some out here. But even on these penny stocks, you can see how a lot of these patterns do set up. $1.85 sets up your X point on February 28th. 65 cents sets up your A point, on March 6th. You get to your B point on March 27th at 90 cents. Back to your C point on April 10th at 73 cents. And pretty much complete your target of 96 cents. Got to 97 cents. If you are playing some of these pennies, a lot of these Gartley patterns work just as well on those as some of the other ones. We're going to get into some actual stocks here. Let me see. We've got, we'll get into some others that were testing lows, see how they came in. NextMed was one that I found very interesting. Another one of these, and why I'm kind of actually fairly bullish on the market is I've seen a lot of these in the early afternoon. Still hoping the market will close up above 1374 and confirm a short-term bottom out here into the at least the IPO date of Facebook. But this was one of the ones I had in my newsletter this morning, and it's pretty much what we were looking for. That is some tests with very light volume. NextMed, and let me find out what this stock does. actually looked at it. Now I forgot it. Apris Biosciences. I thought it was, okay. I guess they changed the name. And engages in the research and development of pharmaceutical drugs and drug candidates based on the proprietary Next Act drug delivery technology. What we do have in this one, let me zoom in just a little bit better here, is a very low volume attempt at the lows. The March 30th low, $2.57, 330,000 shares. You had about 3 or 4 days here with very light volume on the 27th, the 30th, the 1st. You had just, started to pick up just a little volume yesterday. And that was 119,000 shares. So about 1/3 of the volume, even on these lighter stocks out here. Again, you had a nice pullback down to $2.30 for the low. If you get a close back above $2.57, looks like you might have a fairly decent low back in here. You probably may get one more bounce and test this volume here today. But right now, it looks like the volume is going to come in lower, and a close back above puts that in the range, and not a bad range at all. Looks like you've got 308 back up there on the tiny one, but this thing could go back, what I was looking at, and fill this gap that runs from about $3.80 up to about $4.60, and have a nice little move out here. So a few of these actually lining up. Let me see what else we have here. Let me go to just a little shorter time frame. Yamana Gold, another one that looks like, boy, what's in this gold market? Certainly looks like it continues to try to beat out lows at the bottom, and having a hard time breaking that bottom out. The volume's about the same on Yamana. AUY is the symbol. Maybe Tom will have some comments when he comes on at 4 o'clock. April 23rd low came at 7.4 million shares, $13.62. Went up to $14.92 on April 27th, and it's come back in here and it's trying to beat out this low. It's got just slightly heavier volume out here. So we still have kind of an inconclusive on that, but certainly couldn't close below it. I wanted to look and see, make sure that, gold up $9.30, but still in that fairly tight trading range out here. $1,644.10 on gold. Really, since we started seeing, I think I said 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, the thing looked like it had bottomed out. One thing, though, is when these bottom out, doesn't always mean that they're going higher. It means it's going to do something else. It could go higher or it could go sideways. And that's pretty much what we've had, is that super choppy market in gold over these days, and even fairly inconclusive on volume, at least in Yamana here. Let's see else. Oh, what was I in? I'll go back one real quick. Rare earth minerals are kind of exciting these days. Actually, we're seeing a little doji out here in Avalon, AVL. Maybe this one would be interesting for some out there. $2.53 was the low, 650,000 shares. When we get back into these, pretty much half that or below all the way down, and still I'm going to have a little doji out here at 350,000 shares. I'm actually in a rare earth in the newsletter, and I think I'd probably be doing fairly well here. Looks a little bit better than this one. Broad Vision, another one that's had a huge pattern out here, actually coming back to the lows and actually looking kind of interesting. I'm thinking we may have a part due on Broad Vision, BVSN. If you like a trader, and you've got nerves of steel, this is not one that's too bad out here, but certainly coming back into its breakout period and its original gap up. That gap up happened on the 17th of January, and this thing's been a rocket up and down all the way up to $56.46 on March 6th. We're coming back down here, and the volume's not all that bad, and a doji today. So we've got to figure out that come Monday, we're probably going to be getting so fairly decent compared to today's volume. You're going to come in a couple of million shares at least back on that test of the low. Anyway, give me a ring. You still got a few minutes, and we'll be talking tonight on the second hour with the Tom O'Brien Show. You can give me a call, 877-927-6648.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when temporary market spikes move against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped, and you have the advantage of keeping your trades open even when the market temporarily spikes against you. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique short-term binary options that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
What you think about, you bring about. What you focus on grows. If you're committed to becoming an extraordinary trader and investor, then make mastery your outcome. Yes, my best student, Steve Rhodes, became my best teacher. But even more important is what he's taught me, and the time is now for you to take advantage of his knowledge.
Thanks, Tom. I've learned that it's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, but what we do consistently. I want to teach you the consistency that exists in the stock, futures, forex, and commodity markets day in, day out. For one solid day, Friday, May 18th, I'm going to conduct an online master trader course that'll teach you how to buy and sell the D point. This one pattern alone, with the single best entry and exit techniques, when combined with my money management strategies, will create extraordinary rewards for you and your family. The course will be archived so you can review it as many times as you'd like, and it'll teach you to become a master. All the details are on the homepage at TFNN.com. Sign up today because mastery is one click away. It's your decisions, not your conditions, that determine your destiny.
Wow! Go get him, folks.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the opening call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his opening call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his opening call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the opening call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's just wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. Catch Tom O'Brien, founder and CEO of TFNN, professional trader and educator. Also a special guest on CNBC, analyzing the commodity markets. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we're going to go to Concur Technologies. And you still have a few minutes, so you can give me a call, 877-927-6648. I know everybody's probably busy watching the close here in the markets. It's probably going to get fairly exciting fairly quickly, and we'll have to see how some of that actually. Where's my? See if we've got anything else going on here. Nope. Just wanted to make sure I'm watching the market just like all you are. So we'll see how it closes out. Concur Technologies, CNQR, a cloud-based computing company, had probably some decent numbers out yesterday. Blew up and tested its high. The February 2nd high out here, $62.60. That was on February 22nd. 3.6 million shares. Came back up, really blew through it with a sign of strength, but with less volume yesterday, 2.1 million shares. Not all that bad today. Nice little doji out here. Normally, even when these things break through on a big candle like this, as nervous as everybody is, you probably want to take keep an eye on this one. Normally give it about 3 days to break out. So it doesn't have a breakout Monday or Tuesday. Probably it's going to come back. Not a real sign of weakness, but we could be watching for that one for a sign of strength on Monday and a breakout. Corinthian colleges, we've been warning everybody that these will want some of the absolute weakest of the stocks out here in the for-profit education. Finally has come back, went through most of it yesterday, giving a kind of indication that this thing is either done going down or certainly filling a gap. And we were looking for that on COCO. Apollo's one of the other ones in this, but one of the super stinkers in here. But even these stinkers showing a little bit of strength. The gap up, when you look at it, came on about 11.5 million shares. Yesterday, as we went through most of that gap, we had about 8.2 million shares. Today, very light volume, going to print out a nice little doji in the markets here today. But pretty good indication how these things come back and do fill gaps over time. And, of course, they're not the strongest stocks in the world either. Had a nice takeoff, and maybe this thing will base out. Maybe things will change in that. Another one that was interesting, I know Tom's been watching. Maybe he'll have some comment about how Dries has been working. This one also had a nice little gap out. Not too bad looking here. We saw the nice little bottom in Dries, D-R-Y-S, April 10th, $2.90, 10 million shares. It's come back, kind of filled that gap, 4.3 million shares today. So we'll have to be keeping an eye on that. We're going to be running out of time, but I know Tom's going to be starting in just a few minutes. Maybe he'll have a comment on some of these shippers out there. Been waiting for them to come back and base out. Maybe we've got time for just one more out here, hopefully. So, yeah, we got about a minute left. Eagle Materials, EXPE, another one up here has been giving some signs that it's pretty much done going up, $37.18 on March 21st. Fairly light volume, 3 million shares, but extremely light volume into yesterday, 790, so about a third. Pretty good indication that that one had also hit at top. The close below $37.18. Pretty much a good signal out here that Eagle Materials, EXP also. Remember, I'll be back in about an hour and 20 minutes. We're going to have something special on the Tech Insider portion of Tom's show tonight. We're going to be discussing a lot about IPOs and the ins and outs of them and what to look out for. But be fairly interesting, I think. We've got a lot of topics to talk about. We'll see you on Monday.